So now I want to consider GameObjects and transforms further. In particular, I want to consider the GameObject class. Now, the GameObject class is something that is attached to every GameObject in the scene. So right now we have just a completely empty scene with one game camera in here, but that is also a GameObject. So this camera exposes the properties and methods of the GameObject class. Now, if I bring up a Firefox window, you can see here in the Unity documentation that we have the documentation for the GameObject class, and it inherits from the object, and it also lists all of the variables and the functions of that class that we can call upon to do different things. So now we can access this class in script for any object. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and created a script file here which is called GameObjectQuery, and you can see from the object inspector that it's a completely empty script file really, except for a start event. And I have attached this script to the main camera. You can see in the components we have the GameObjectQuery. Now I'm going to bring up that class in MonoDevelop. So for example, in MonoDevelop you will see that what we are creating here is the GameObjectQuery class, and this derives from MonoBehavior, and this defines the behavior for a component that is attached to the GameObject. But if in script we need to access the GameObject itself, if this script file needs to access the GameObject to which it is attached, then we can call upon certain things to do that. Let's just open up the start function here. To access the GameObject, all I have to do is type GameObject. Notice though that we're using the lowercase version and not the uppercase version. So we're using the lowercase g GameObject. And when I press the period symbol, notice that we get a whole list of the methods and the properties that we can call upon, and these match up with those listed at the Unity documentation. So for example, if I wanted to print the name of the GameObject to the console, I can type name. Notice here it has the name property. So I can type print and GameObject.name and just save those code changes. Notice that the name of the object is main camera. So when I press play on the toolbar, it will print the main camera name of the GameObject. If I change this name to, for example, special camera, and now I press play on the toolbar, notice now that special camera is printed to the console. So that's one way we can quickly access the GameObject of any object in the scene from script. But there are many other things that we can do as well with GameObjects, and we'll take a look at those next.